is a man's job. A man's job. A man's job. A man's job. Paying bills is a man's job. Paying bills is a man's job. Paying bills is a man's job.
Okay, these are some grown kids on TikTok, I swear to y'all.
Because no, I have no compassion or understanding for the man that says that he can't make all the money in the house and pay all the bills all by himself when I do it. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I have 4 children. You mean to tell me you can't take care of her and 2 little babies?
What?
I don't want to hear it. I don't believe it. Sounds like a cop-out to me, copper. Oh, but women get public assistance. It's called public assistance, not women assistance. You public? Go get some food stamps, sir. I don't want to hear it. You don't need nobody to go 50-50. How was you paying your bills all by yourself before we got together? I can't just move in. You've been handling business. Don't switch it up now. I don't want to.
The thing is, right, hear me out, y'all. Even if a man is able to pay all the bills, 100% of the bills, so the woman can sit there and relax, who the hell wants to pay 100% of a woman's bills who's this entitled? Who is this rude? Who is this belittling? Even if he can afford to do it, he's not going to want to do it because of your stupid attitude.
I know the topic of conversations when they be talking about men paying all women bills. And men be like, okay, if I pay all the bills, what can you contribute? Because he can cook and clean up the house by himself. I be really trying to wonder, like, first of all, as a man, what can you contribute if I don't need you to pay my bills? Because ain't that the same question? So much by paying bills that you should be paying anyway because you have to live somewhere. But what can you contribute if I don't need you to pay my bills? That's where a lot of y'all get stuck at, and I know this. Because if you not, when you start dealing with a woman that don't need you but wants you, it's hard for her to be blinded by the things that you can do for her that she can already do for herself. You feel me what I'm saying? So that means that at that point, you pass the money situation, you're going to have to start having good character. Your principle is going to have to be right. Your heart is going to have to be in the right space. You're going to have to talk to her the right way. You're going to have to respect her and treat her the right way. You're going to have to present her the right way in the streets. Because in reality, those are the only things that you can give her that she can't give to herself as far as romance. You feel me what I'm saying? So y'all just think about that. Next time the question come up talking about if I pay all your bills, what can you contribute to me? And I can cook and clean up by myself. Okay, well, I can pay my bills by myself. So now we in the same boat, ain't we? I don't need you and you don't need me. So now what's the conversation about? Because at the end of the day, after you take all them crazy materialistic things out of the equation, it all comes down to the type of person that you are at heart. And that's when y'all have a lot of issues looking at y'allself in the mirror.
It's so unfortunate that women are at this point where we only think of men as pocketbooks. Like, okay, the only thing a man brings is paying a bill. And even with saying that, they're still having kids with men. But they're like, oh, well, I don't need you. If you're not paying all the bills, I don't need you. I can do it all on my own. Thinking that the only purpose of a man is to pay the bill. The only purpose of a father figure in the household is to pay the bill.
Man, this is some bullshit.
It's very heartbreaking to witness woman after woman after woman talk like this. And then the unfortunate part is a lot of these women weren't even raised with daddies in the household, but they come on TikTok demanding what men are supposed to do when their own daddy wasn't even doing it. You didn't even know your daddy because your mommy was workless with her pum-pum. Come on now.
This is the reason men have to pay the bills. Like, being a provider is the least they can do. Because the amount of things that women go through that men do not go through is quite literally unfair.
Like, let us hope that she gives us example.
That's the only way to balance it. Number 1, the period cycle. This is a monthly evolution of ever-changing hormones that we cannot control. Sometimes we have too little. Sometimes we have too much. Progesterone, estrogen, we just can't control that. Cortisol, up and down. It is radical, all while we're expected to manage those emotions and be productive members of society. And then the period that so graciously shows up every month. And don't get me wrong, for those of us that don't want kids, we are so ever so thankful that it shows up. But that does not negate the fact that sometimes it's brutal. Chunks of blood, staining of the chonies, staining of the pajamas, bloating and fatigue, extreme discomfort, and some women even have crippling, debilitating cramps. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Then there's carrying a child, and that changing your entire chemical makeup, because once...
Before we get into carrying a child, so you mean for tell me, say, just because God decides say you gonna see your period, that means say you're not supposed to pay any bills? So who pay your bills when you're single? Periods start from about age 12 up until menopause. So when you turn 18 and you become an adult, who has been paying your bills every month because you have your period? So all of a sudden, now that you have a man, sake of your period, you can't pay bills. These people don't think things through. Now they come on TikTok so proudly to advertise their ignorance without thinking things through. If you're broke, ma'am, just say you're broke. But let us continue to second one.
You form a baby with somebody, then you have their genes or whatever inside of you for like a prolonged period of time. Now y'all forever connected, forever changing who you are. Then you carry this whole ass human inside of you. And sometimes it's not very nice to you. It makes you sick, lose sleep, has you eating crazy things, and looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Something that your body never really recovers from. Then it comes out and we're left with the aftermath of what's left. So then we breastfeed the kid, give it life, and literally end up with raisin titties and raisin skin, and there's nothing we can do about it. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But in that time period, what do the men go through? What in life changes for them? And then let's say things don't work out with the father, right? Why is it that the mom is automatically expected and seen as the one person who takes on the entire responsibility of the child? Like,
no, because the court system sets it up like that. If you don't want to take on the responsibility of your child and give custody to the father, a lot of y'all moms don't want to do that. But even going back to her point, how pregnancy changed your body, and y'all pregnancy changed your body. That's why it's beyond me while so many of y'all go skin out your leg and give your pum pum to a man that you're not married to. He didn't value you enough to put a ring on your finger, and you go give him a change your body for him, and to give him multiple babies, or to give multiple men a baby, to cause multiple men to allow you to go through that changes of carrying a child. It is beyond me. But no, y'all want to come up here and say, oh, a man is supposed to pay all the bills because pregnancy is hard on a woman's body. But y'all can't understand the logic where a woman is supposed to protect her front and protect her womb until she finds a man of value who will take care of her and her children before she just give it off to any random man. Answer that part, sis.
the default parent. But the dad could disappear, do whatever, see the kid every other weekend, and then everything is left to the mom. And even if that's not the case, even if they're still together and the mom goes back to work, because if you're like in a state like California, more than likely both people have to work to make a decent income to be able to live, she's still the default parent. She's still the doctor appointment parent, the school parent, the drop-off parent, the childcare parent, the one that wakes up in the middle of the night with the child. Like, what do? Snore. And women are damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Protect. If somebody is breaking in the house, who you think is going to go down there? If there's a major life decision to make, who you think is going to go make that decision? And even if, say it's a little pushover feminine energy man, and he doesn't know how to make the decision to save his life, or he doesn't know how to protect anything to save his life, who you think society is going to look at and blame when shit hits the fan? It's the man is going to be responsible for protecting his household, even when he's with a boisterous, hard-headed woman. So the pressure that men have on their shoulders by just being men, let us not talk about black men. The pressure that they have on their shoulder for just being men. Every day they wake up and they have to be always thinking about multiple solution, multiple problem. And we think just because we get our little period, which don't get me wrong, period pain lick, period pain hurt. And as I said, having kids change your body. But just because we go through something that God designed us to do, God created us to do, we want superiority over men because we don't understand what they go through. And the simple reason we don't understand what they go through is because they don't bitch and bawl about it on the internet as much as women do. Simple.
She's a stay-at-home mom. People are quick to look at her and be like, oh, that's all you do. Do you know how hard it is to sit at home and your only interaction be with a child all day? It drives you literally insane. Yes, it's a blessing, but is it more exhausting than having a job? 1,000%. You could not pay me to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom.
What? So what you want to do then? Wait, cause as I said, these women, oh my gosh. Boy, because her whole video, the purpose of this video is that men's supposed to pay 100% of the bill. And then now she's saying that you cannot pay me to be a stay-at-home mom. So what do you want to do? You want to not pay any of the bills, but then also work? So your kid is in daycare? So what would be the reason of... I don't get it. I'm confused. But this is how they talk. All over the place. No direct train of thought, but okay.
Women who are basically forced into that role because obviously she's the mom, so she becomes that default parent, and sometimes it wasn't something that she actually wanted, but she may be forced into that because of finances. Childcare may be too expensive, they're spending too much on diapers, formula, and etc. So now she's given up everything that she once dreamt of being, her vision for her life, to be able to raise this child so that their home can be okay, because it's just too expensive to do anything otherwise. So basically the woman sacrifices her dreams, and she wasn't just made, like, we're not all women are just made to just be moms. Some people are made for more. They have more purpose than just that. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, because the original point in your video was to talk about why men are supposed to pay all the bills, and then now you're talking about how not every woman's supposed to be a mother. So as I said, they're all over the place. At this point, they just like to hear themselves talk. So they come on with their TikTok filters so they can talk and talk and talk, because they know there are a lot other women who don't think too deep, who don't ask any, questions or anything. It's all surface level thinking that happen on TikTok. So they know, hey, I can just come on and just talk about anything and put words together, and I won't get views, and people are going to gas me up in the comment section.
And then on the flip side, there's women who are super independent, who are super girl bosses, who do the damn thing every single day, but then they get judged and side-eyed, because then it's like, oh, your career, and what about your family, or you're not being in your feminine role. And it's like, no matter what, women don't win. And this rant is gonna make a whole lot more sense to you guys right now, because I literally just got my period today. So yes, I'm on a rant, because it's just not fair. This is why men need to pay the bills and just not ask any questions and just be providers, because this is just too much. Here's my chocolate, okay?
The selfishness of them all. Because do you think they care about what men have to go through? As I said, because men not coming on the internet to ball as much as they do, they really don't understand what men, especially black men, have to go through. And they really don't care. It's just, oh, I have my period. So,
A man soft era is a married man who pays the bills and has a great wife by his side. With all due respect, where did y'all get this narrative from? Because y'all do understand when a man likes you, he understands that you're now his responsibility and he has to take care of you. This is how I know y'all really be messing with men that really don't like you. Because, as I said, if he already has a plate, now he's taking your plate and putting some of it on his own, creating more responsibility now that you're in his life. And let's be honest, when it comes to relationship, you could have a good man, he gets married, gets a divorce, who you gonna blame first? Exactly. You're gonna point the finger at the man. Why wasn't he making the wife happy, even though she could have been the issue? Kids acting up in school, why isn't he disciplining his son? Or why isn't he showing his enough love to that little girl? I'm not going to sit up here and downplay women and be like, oh, when you get married, now you got someone to cook and clean for you. No, women are more than that. So I don't understand how some of you truly think that a man is carrying less stress when he gets married and or is in a relationship when he has more responsibility and he has more mouths to feed. Hence, a lot of you don't be talking to people that actually like you. But hey, I'm just an opinionated dude on TikTok.
And he made some solid points that tied into the previous video. They really think that men are just chilling and all men have to do is just pay the bills and that's it. And even tying into the video prior to that, it's like, y'all do not understand the role of men because y'all never had a daddy. Y'all never had a father figure. And if you did, it was probably a passive man that just sit there and pay the bills. So that's what y'all think men are supposed to do. And then tie it in with this Tyler Perry movie that tells you, oh, a man is supposed to just cater to his wife because happy wife, happy life. And then you have, y'all, I kid you not, as I said, one day I'll do a story time, because you do have men out here who really think that their purpose and their feelings should be placed on the back burner, and all they want is a happy wife, happy life. One day I'm gonna sit and do a story time for you.
So I came across her, and she said that paying bills is a man's job. Then why did you guys spend all of that money and get into so much debt to get an education, to get great jobs?
Okay.
If paying bills is a man's job, what's your job? Do you know how to cook a prime rib, medium rare, with a gratin potatoes, roasted Brussels sprouts with balsamic glaze? No? Do you know how to clean thoroughly to where there's complete organization and no dust? No? Then what's a woman's job? See,
because they say they're not a maid. They said they're not being barefoot and pregnant, so why they have to do all of that? So they can't understand that logic of, oh, I'm not going to do all of that because this is not the 1950s. However, a man is supposed to pay all the bills because apparently it's still the 1950s when it comes to men role. But when it comes to women role, they're strong, independent, modern women.
what I've come to understand about a lot of women and a lot of women in dating and on social media is that they do not want to be a wife or a partner or a girlfriend. They want to be a child. They want to be treated like a dependent. They don't want a soft life. They want a life of leisure. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to get their cheeks clapped. And if they do, they're starfish. They don't want to do anything. Well, then what did you guys go and get all of that education and rack up all that student loan debt for? Mm-hmm. This is not making any sense. If paying bills is a man's job, then you should have been learning how to be a wife a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Because that's who get men to pay their bills. Wives and women who unfortunately sell their poom poom. Okay? And they don't get all their bills paid. They get the $40 put on the dresser. So you guys tell me, if paying bills is a man's job, number one, why wouldn't we look for the woman that is going to cost the least, number one? And number two, what is your job? Because I'm confused.
He bringing too much logic to the conversation that, these women don't operate in logic. But shout out to the girl who sell them pum pum. A lot of these women on TikTok, if you want to sell your pum pum, sis, just say it, because that's what you're basically trying to say. A man is supposed to pay all the bills. Paying the bills is a man's job. Okay, so all you're going to do is sell pum pum because you don't want to wash, you don't want to clean, you don't want to submit, you don't want tech telling, you don't want to do nothing but run a pum pum and show your body on social media. I mean, this is the life we're in. This is the reality of dating, y'all. And as I said, it's not just one-sided, because there are lots of simps out there. There are lots of son husbands, a lot of feminine energy men. But it just so happened that women have a bigger platform. They tend to come on and post and, show up a lot of why the problem. You're going to see the simps out there, but the simps going to be piggybacking off of what the woman already say. You're gonna see the Sims stitching the video and nodding and saying, see, a real man takes care of his woman. A real man pays all the bills no matter how many kids she got. A real man saved the community because the community is our black community. So save your community, black man. You are a punk if you decide to get your passport, black man. We see them out there, but I support y'all. Get to the chopper, guys.
Get to the chopper!
Save yourself, because if it's this way you guys have to deal with, y'all go check out this video. These women are upset that men are saying, no, we're done with dating, we're done wasting our time, we don't want you and your nasty attitude. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.